Hi everyone, this is again Rivero, welcome to my channel, and we are continuing the Let's Play on the game Tiny Bunny. Also, I've realized that on the last two episodes, I've covered with my webcam all the text. I think it wasn't really nice, I apologize for that. Now I replace my cam and it should be better. Let me remember what we had in the previous episodes. There was a boy that got lost. We started our own investigation. We found the mitten. We thought it was full of blood. In reality it was wet and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Tosha has problem with his brain. If it's all imagination or not. We'll find out. Let's start. This is the moment where we stopped at last time. We followed Peter Pan's adventure, as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents were teaching each other apart, bit by bit. Sorry, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olia's eyelids had dropped. She started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olia's room. I was looking out the window, studying the field, when Mom pinged into my room.
Довольно баловства.
Enough playing around.
Завтра первый день в школе.
It's your first day at school tomorrow.
Ложись, тебе надо выспаться.
Go to bed. You should sleep properly.
Не хочешь же ты, чтобы тебя все дразнили Соней?
You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? I wouldn't want it. Especially on the first day at school. Kids are cruel. And I remember my school days. I cannot say that I was bullied. I was never bullied. Actually, I was sometimes the one that was used to bully kids. Not too much, though. But I can say that, yeah, kids are really cruel creatures. They don't have an understanding that you can kill a person, that you can harm a person, that you can give a trauma to the person. Yeah, it can be harsh sometimes. For all those that pass through bullying at school, do not keep your mouth shut. Speak up about it. Fight back. Do not let people to bully you. Never. Adults think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible wrestling in the corners. My inner voice had questions for me. Do I want to hear my mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up, and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest veiled behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook, as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I did not notice how I fell into slumber. It has come, after all, the day I feared the most, the first day of a new school term. Episode number 2. Time to play with you. Okay, it's getting more and more interesting. New school, new teachers, and most importantly, new classmates, who I always have trouble connecting with. Like most other kids with glasses probably, I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. That would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Maybe it was a good thing. I didn't want to get the daddy's boy reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days, when everything was so simple and easy. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneaked out to the first floor, so I wouldn't wake up anybody, especially the peacefully sleeping Oля. I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. This game is so simple, but listen to the sounds and the music on the background. It really gives you shivers. I don't know if it gives them to you, but I have shivers at the moment. I used to play like this even on our old apartment. If my soles touched the space between the floorboards, it counted as stepping into lava. The clock was spewing me on with its hands. The clock was spewing me on with its hands. I need to hurry, faster, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Boiling lava was bursting out of the cracks between the floorboards. I needed to watch my step to survive at any cost. Did you used to play this game when you used to be young? I never played lava. I used to just get satisfied from stepping exactly in the middle of the floorboards. Hippity hop, like a frog jumping in the Mole Hills, like a fair fur bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat, and drank it down with a cold tea. My appetite was as good as of someone being held in the scaffold towards the guillotine. I lowered my gaze and I saw that one of my feet was standing on the two floorboards at the same time. Burned to a crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little snakes writhed in my belly. The fear of getting hit and being called nasty names. The clock clicked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. This darkness never fully left the house around here. This darkness never fully left the houses around here. I took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glasses for the good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time these thick pieces of glass brought me any good fortune. The sky was akin to a giant bruise. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It leaked upstairs from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetops. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. My parents made me wear this noose, afraid that I being a total klutz that I am, could lose the key otherwise. The wind whispered on the other side of the gate. It invited me into my new life towards dubious adventures, and toggled along like an old body, pushing me in the back. White shadows that pines throughout covered a third of the clearing. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hid my nose in the coat's collar. I was squeezing through the thin firebreak, my hair ruffled up, and my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. This is the same place where we found the mitten. Remember, it was hanging on that stick. The snowy blankets rustled under my feet, and the canopy of the intertwined branches above my head cut me off from the already raised starlight. I'm sorry, but it's very difficult to read this. For me, I'm trying my best. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of shaggy old women that smelled of rural earth. Their trunks turned into cracked, wrinkled faces with holes in the middle as their mouths. If I lost focus, even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me into the forest depths. Then my parents would be walking around these parts, screaming my name. But the dead can't answer the living. Or can they? A sense of panic was growing in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school in his hands by now. If it saved me from the watching darkness rise up in the ravens like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow quaking behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest crack. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger. As if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast, made my neck crunch. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. 3 branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel.
Есть здесь кто?
Who's there? The question escaped my lips and dissolved into the unending creaking sound of the wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? I'm either going mad or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Yeah, I don't really understand. Why did he even go alone? Knowing that he has mental problems and someone was following him and the boy got lost. Distant lights granted me a smidgen of hope. A country road. I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail will shrink. Clothed hands will grip me by the shoulders, turn me around, and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew to this wooden bridge, disbelieving my luck. The bridge's supports bathed in the spring, teary and ice cold. I put my hands on my knees and looked up at the forest, then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The thicket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute was through a snow-laden road, illuminated by sparse lamplights. Give me 1 second, please. I need to drink some water because my mouth is getting dry. Let's continue. I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could, from one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like that game, where you need to be the first to proclaim, I'm protected. See? Tag. A kid's game where one player needs to tag other player by touching them with their hand, making them eat. In certain zones normally called ghoul, player can stay safe from tagging. I remember those. In Russia we used to call them догонялки or something like that. It's just in the case that protection was flimsy at best. I'm sorry. It's just in this case that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness writhing outside at bounds. Then I noticed something remarkably eerie. In place where the lights from an inclined lamp could not reach, a hairy, crooked shadow became alive with a guttural roll. It almost felt like its features deterred light. It's a natural pose. It's styled fear. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there, blinking, trying to chase away that illusion. But the shadow didn't disappear and even got closer. My insides were gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into the snow pile. What's this? How can you explain a fox or a wolf wearing a jacket? This guy is not good with his head. That's 100%. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me with a sweet voice.
Чего крадешься? Душу мою украсть хочешь?
Sneaking around, huh? Trying to steal my soul? Words got stuck in my throat. Who could be talking in such a silky voice here between the forest and the dormant village?
Чего молчишь, несмышленыш?
Will you say something, dummy?
Язык вырвали?
A cat got in your tongue?
Слушай, а я тебе еще и нос откушу.
Alright, I'll bite off your nose then.
Будешь знать, как совать его в чужие дела.
Then I'll teach you not to poke it into places it doesn't belong. A girl stood before me, judging from the voice and the silhouette. But I couldn't even reprimand myself for getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood, with something dangerously shiny inside. I was stunned. From the cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaw weren't moving and her eyes weren't blinking. Okay, so logically it's a mask. A mask. It's just a girl with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept into my face.
А я
I was
просто в
just
школу иду, а тут ты.
going to school and then you.
Что я?
What about me?
Никогда не видел, как лиса собаку кормит.
Never seen a fox fed a dog? And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's legs. One of the strays that were chasing me yesterday, probably.
Извини, я не хотел.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. I guess it still smelled of bologna that I had for breakfast. I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird.
Значит, не хотел. Ну-ну.
So you didn't mean to?
Как тебя зовут?
What's your name?
Меня Антон. А
I
тебя?
am Anton. And you?
А меня нет.
And I'm not. I mean, I hope this doesn't need to be translated. Yeah, you can see that this is a mask. Look, you can see her eyes blinking from the inside. Alright, at least now we know that it's not a demon or a monster, it's just a human with the mask. She's weird. Definitely has couple loose screws. But she has nice voice. My astonishment had turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl, I didn't know, was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. The foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I shuddered from every little sound. I could just walk away, but this girl had piqued my interest. The next time police officer asks me about my friends at the new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking
Здесь
fox.
живешь?
Do you live around here?
В поселке?
In the village? The fox giggled and purred. The spoon around so hard, the hem of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупый.
No, dummy.
Лисы не живут в поселках.
Foxes don't live in
Хочешь
villages.
сказать, ты живешь в лесу?
So you live in the forest then?
Из какой норы ты вылез?
Have you been living under a rock?
Конечно! Лисам среди людей не выжить.
It's obvious that foxes can survive anywhere near humans,
Пока они лисы.
as long as they're foxes. Her jokes were also weird, just like her carnival mask, papier mache, with fur glued into it. The dog reminded us of its extents with a loud bark. I have unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge, cookies, apples, and even my favorite crab sticks. I love crab sticks as well. He called it a gift from a bunny. Treat from a bunny. They are not part of a business lunch or a treat specifically bought for children. Parents would tell their children that a bunny asked them to deliver said treat, but it could also be any other animal, squirrel or bear, for example. The stray strolled towards me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry.
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра пораньше?
Why are you dressed like this so early in the morning?
На утренник идешь?
Going to a costume party? The girl shrugged, throwing silvery snowflakes off her nose, and her human form along with them, turning into a genuine beast, a real fox, agile, cunning, and dangerous. A moment of hesitation, and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll till you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but just stand there as a stamp. Until I heard her calm, melodic laughter, hidden underneath the beastie mask.
Видел бы ты свою маску, сладенький.
I wish you could have seen your own mask, sweetie. Sweet? Did she say sweetie? I got embarrassed, went right up to my hair roots. We'd seen a fox in a zoo once when we went there with Dad, but it had patchy fur, was grey and skinny. But this girl was of fury color, and fury just like a fairy tales. I was still rummaging through my backpack. My fingers that were searching for the dog treats stumbled upon some soft, crumpled objects.
Ничего,
You'll see.
скоро проснутся настоящие звери.
The real beasts will wake up soon.
Спроси-ка лучше у них, где они взяли свои человеческие лица.
You should ask them where they got their human faces. The girl's shadow was dancing in the lamplight. Dog yapped in agreement. I freaked out and dropped my finding to the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. Cold wind instantly covered the whole it created with snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, wanting to get its treat. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I wanted to sink through the snow. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. All neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its darkness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know.
Так ты в школу идешь?
So, are you going to school?
Ах, ну какой же дурачок!
Oh my. You are a real dummy.
Так ничего и не понял?
Don't you get it? Well, I was trying to be friendly, but she can't stop mocking me, calling me a dummy and no. Just 1 second. I need some water. I should have just moved along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog.
А ты чего обзываешься?
Why are you so mean?
Не хочешь отвечать, и пожалуйста.
Don't answer if you don't want to.
Никто не требует.
It's not like I care. Still, something froze me in place, tugged me towards the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just laughing, lunging, languid enough. What are these words? Languid. What is this language? English. First time I hear it. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as a people watch fires burn.
Ой, да не дуйся!
Stop pouting.
Гляди-ка лучше.
Look here.
Ты нравишься Жульке.
Julka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through the snow with sharp movements, snoring loudly. The fox turned around and looked at me. The fox turned around and looked at the window of nearby house. At its timbered front through the white mist. The tip of her fake nose was shining under the lamp's light.
И не только ей.
And maybe someone else too. Oh, Anton got a fox liking him. Nice reese, bro. I went red again. Like a boiled catfish this time. Is she talking about herself or someone else? I hope that the semi-dark would be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. I cleared my throat before asking.
А кому еще я нравлюсь?
And who's that person? I waited, counting my heartbeats. The foxy did not reply. Her sly stare was scanning the frosty patterns of someone's window. She was reading them like a glass book. I wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. The stray stopped, rummaging through the snow. It ran to me, holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Could it be the one I found in the forest? What is it doing here? When I looked closer, I realized that it was just my mitten. Maybe Mom stiffed it in there when I was asleep. A certain missing boy immediately came to my mind.
Эй, ты знаешь что-нибудь про Вову?
Hey, do you know anything about Vova? I imagined the scene. Till Holt dancing and declaring. I mean, she was clearly one of them dancing over there. The dance in the night when Vova had disappeared. A boy, when found, can provide a big reward and maybe save my family. I remembered my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Dolia to Disneyland in Paris. But instead of a long-anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console, visibly embarrassed. I was crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. It was the first time when Mom and Dad had a big fight. My greediness shattered the relationship. If I only could fix everything, gather everybody and I love and take them to Disneyland.
В ночь, когда пропал Вова, я, кажется, видел, как кто-то похожий на тебя плясал под моим окном.
No, that's not really smart to say, Anton. That's not really smart to say. He's too naive. On the night Vova had disappeared, I think I saw someone looking like you, dancing under my window. It couldn't be true, but I felt like your mask became even more sly. The fox was sniffing me out.
А что? Ты тогда испугался?
Oh, that got you worried?
За себя или кого-то еще?
For yourself or for someone else? Olia, as soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened, and cold sweat streamed down my spine.
Ну так слушай меня внимательно, мальчик по имени Антон.
Well then, listen closely, a boy named Anton.
Это большой и страшный лес.
Now she's not friendly anymore. This is a big and scary forest. The fox girl stepped forward maniacally,
И я не единственный его обитатель.
and I'm not its only tenant. We know about that. I think there was 5. Fox, wolf, bear, owl that comes to Oля, and someone else.
Другие звери уже знают о тебе.
The other beasts already know about you.
Берегись нас.
Be aware,
Этой ночью мы опять придем.
we'll come again tonight. I shouldn't have talked to this evil in child form, I thought, panicking.
Пока ты со своей семьей будешь спать, подкрадемся близко-близко и станцуем.
When you and your parents will be fast asleep, we'll sneak really close and dance.
Макарену!
Macarena.
Чё?
Huh?
Эй, Макарена!
Hey, Macarena. Hi.
У тебя прямо челюсть отвисла, Антоша!
I got the same reaction like Tosha. I think you got this reaction as well. She's super sarcastic and super sly. And in reality, she's not even lying. She's not even being sarcastic or being sly. Because she's one of them. Ha ha ha, look at you. Your mouth is agape, Antosha.
Видел он меня ночью у своего окна. Ага, как же!
He saw me near his window at night. Yeah, right.
А ты случаем не местный дурачок, нет?
Are you by any chance dimwit?
Меня не отпускают гулять так поздно.
Nobody would let me go outside that late. Now she's trying to play him stupid, to make him think that it was just his dream. But maybe it was his dream, because the wolf, when he came into his room and he started to eat him, it was just a dream. So I guess the dance was just a dream. But this girl with the mask is not a dream. And how would he see them if he never saw her before? Too many questions.
Здесь, знаешь ли, дети пропадают.
Children go missing here, you know? I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to death.
Ой, да не тереби ты окуляры свои.
Hey, why don't you stop fondling your glasses?
Я раньше тоже близорукой была.
I was also nearsighted once.
Лучше послушай меня. Может быть, ума наберешься.
Listen to me and maybe you'll become smarter.
Лисичку как обычно называют?
Remember what do they call foxes?
Плутовка?
Cunning. My words seemed to hurt her.
Ох ты ж!
Hey,
Как ты меня?
what did you...
Ой, прости.
Sorry. Her laughter was akin to the jingle of the pair of silver bells. No, she's not okay. Seriously, she's not okay. She's making my mind blow. She's confusing me.
Да шучу я!
Just pulling your leg. Guys, let me give you advice. If you meet a girl like this in real life, run away. Do not waste your time for her. She is not okay. Probably she's insecure because she's always trying to joke and always trying to be sarcastic. People like that have a lot of insecurities. So run away. Do not waste your time for them.
Конечно, плутовкой.
Of course we are cunning.
Если ты ловкий и смелый, не боишься с плутовкой водиться, я, так и быть, помогу разыскать этого Вову.
If you are agile and brave enough to befriend the cunning fox, I'll help you look for Vova. So now we're going to make a deal with the fox.
Ты же неспроста его ищешь, да?
There is a reason why you'll be doing it, right? Yes, to help his family. I shrugged it in reply. Her insight was alarming.
Знаю, почему дети повадились соваться в наш лес.
I know why children have been swarming our forest recently.
Порой там можно найти много всякого интересного.
Sometimes you can find a lot of interesting stuff there.
Я вот однажды нашла целый сугроб конфет и купалась в нем. Да так что челюсть слиплась.
One day I saw a huge pile of candy once, and I swam in it until my jaw cramped. A pile of candy? Listen, Anton is around 10, 9, 11 years old. He shouldn't be bought with candies. It's more like toy cars or bicycle or whatever. I couldn't deduce whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Посмотрите-ка, какой недоверчивый.
Boo, so very.
Ну-ну, а что ты на это скажешь?
Well, what will you say to this then? Turbo, chewing gum, from my childhood. You open the chewing gum, you have only one chewing gum in the packet, and you have the cards inside, and you collect them. The cards, I mean, like a picture of a car. She held out her hand in a fury meeting. There was an assortment of sweets in her palm. In the city where I used to live, sweets like this were sold at the markets or in kiosks. Kiosk, I think everyone knows what kiosk is. Small, container-type shop selling a wide assortment of products, from bubblegum to vodka, clothing, or even home appliances. These types of shops were popular in the 90s Russia, and more often than not tied to a criminal organization. Basically, it's a very small shop. I saw my favorite bubblegum in the vivid wrapped among the tasty treasure. A familiar name was on it, Turbo. A triangle, box-faced, poked her nose towards me.
Угощайся,
Take some.
у меня их полные карманы.
My pockets are full of this. Okay, let's take. I accepted the treat. And catching a... Listen, should I have a... Did I do good by accepting the treat? I don't know who is that, and maybe she's going to drag me. Too late. I accepted the treat and catching a whiff of the girl's smell. I'm not understanding. Listen, I'm going to read this again because I'm not understanding what the fuck they wrote here. I accepted the treat and catching the whiff of the girl's smell. Why these two things are in the same sentence? That he took the chewing gum and he smelled her smell. Why they are together? Why does it make sense? Pure fireworks. Citrus. The smell of the holidays. My fingers tingled while I was carefully unwrapping the gum. Peach aroma entered my nostrils. And something else, something unfamiliar but pleasant. The fruity cube ended up in my mouth. I started moving my molars, chewing the gum. It tasted like your usual Turkish gum. Only my tongue went a bit numb. It was drugged. She drugged my boy. She drugged the boy. She drugged the boy. Call the police. I couldn't believe my luck when I opened the insert. Yeah, those that were the inserts. Mercedes-Benz SL 500. That's nice. Insert bubblegum insert games. The type of game where the players put bubble gum inserts into their palm and try to flip it by throwing it in the air. The player who happens to flip one or more inserts claims them as a prize. Those inserts were often considered as collectibles, and it's true. I looked at the Mercedes-Benz, an extremely rare and hence desirable collector's item for any boy from my previous neighborhood. My heart skipped a beat. I was barely able to tear my eyes off the insert, still stunned.
Это же...
This is...
Теперь понял, что можно найти в лесу?
Now do you see what can be found in the forest?
Только на твоем месте я бы туда в одиночку не ходила.
Still, I wouldn't go there alone if I were you.
Тебе вон от жвачки в забу дыханье сперла.
You get so flustered over a simple bubblegum after all. It's not a simple bubblegum. It's something more serious.
А представляешь, что с тобой будет, если найдешь чемодан таких фантиков?
Imagine what would happen if you find a travel case worth of this.
Голову напрочь снесет.
It will surely
Пиши,
blow your
пропала.
mind. It will surely blow your mind. Unusual treats. Just like everything else around her. I carefully hid the insert in my bag, as if I was putting a rare butterfly in a can. The fox giggled. Honestly, she giggles too much. She giggles too much, and it's getting on my nerves now. This is not how things are supposed to go on a Monday morning. Who are you? I refrained from asking that question. She wouldn't answer it anyway, or she'll just lie. I really wanted to see what's behind her mask. I was becoming more and more sure that underneath it wasn't just a simple young girl.
Может, Вова тоже нашел сугроб сладостей и теперь кувыркается в нем?
What if Ova also found a snow pile with sweets and now rolling in it? For how many? For 2 days he's been rolling in it?
Слушай, вдруг он решил остаться в лесу?
Actually, what if he decided to stay in the forest?
Тогда, наверное, ему очень холодно в одной варежке.
He must be so cold without his second meeting then. The wind caught her words like smoke from a fire and carried them deep into the darkness, into the creepy thicket. The trees behind me creaked with the bony branches.
Или с ним что-то случилось в пути.
Or what if something happened to him along the way?
Что-то страшное.
Something terrible. The forest reacted to her words, became alive, it sniffed me out, perking up its ears, just like a curtain's beast. The fox girl pierced me with her eyes again.
Дикие звери?
Wild beasts?
Это, по-твоему, страшно?
You'll find that scary?
Ну, не знаю.
Well, I don't know.
Не знает.
He doesn't know.
Уж не с двоечником ли я подружилась?
Oh my. Have I befriended a dance? I didn't like being called a douche. Not dance, sorry, douche. I didn't like being called a douche. Yet being friends with her sounded nice.
Я хорошист.
My grades are good.
Бел да пушист.
Really now?
Пойдешь со мной?
Will you come with me?
Антон.
Good grades, Anton.
Найдем твоего Вову и сам его спросишь, что он нашел в этой пуще.
We'll find your Vova, and you'll be able to ask him what he found deep in the forest.
Ведь пока мы вместе, никто тебя в лесу не тронет.
As long as you are with me, nothing can hurt you in the forest.
Вот увидишь.
You'll see. From my experience, I can say that the best option is not to accept her offer. Because 100 and 100% something's going to happen to us. Worms of Wardy written my belly. Better run, whispered
Я
my
тебе не
mouth.
верю.
I don't believe you. Look, Anton is not so stupid after all.
Ты думаешь, я врунья?
Do you take me for a liar?
Да и пожалуйста, мне никогда никто не верит.
Whatever, you're just like everybody else. The girl sounded hurt, although I didn't know if she was genuine about it. She turned around as if she had immediately lost an interest in me. The gum felt bitter now. I remember my dad's favorite saying, "Where are your manners, son?" Indeed, this fox was kind to me.
Не обижайся, пожалуйста.
Please don't be mad.
Лисы бывают и добрыми.
Foxes can be also nice,
Ну, как в сказках.
like a fairy tales.
Мне бы только понять, что ты за лиса.
I just needed to know what kind of fox are you. The girl giggled, hiding the nose of her mask in the hands.
Тогда пойдем со мной в лес.
Then follow me into the
Всё
forest,
обо мне узнаешь.
and you'll get to know me.
Но не сейчас, а когда рассветет. А то тебя, бедного, всего аж потряхивает.
But not now, when it gets bright. I mean, your whole body is shaking, you poor thing.
Того и гляди, кондрашка хватит.
I don't want you to get a stroke.
Ай да, провожу тебя до школы.
Hey, let me accompany you to the school. After hearing this, the dog barked in agreement and stopped messing with the mitten. I leaned in, trying to grab the piece of handwear that almost ran away from me.
Ну, если тебе по пути,
Well, if you're going to the same direction, we went towards the school and the lost town. Here and there, the lights came on in the windows of houses we passed, as if their inhabitants were sending us various signs. Silkhoats lurked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of grey smoke rose from chimneys. TV bustled, and dishes clenched in kitchens. How can we hear the sound of plates clenching in the kitchen? Can you explain to me? We watched the village slowly rise from its slumber, while carefully treading the snowy wheel trails. I walked on the left one, and she took the right one. The dog was following the right behind us. I expected the fox to bring up something weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to the school, as if playing with me some game. Only she was private too. She would only giggle from time to time, and the dog sneezed from the snowflakes that fell on its nose. Her giggles are getting on my nerves, really. She giggles for no reason. I was the first to break the silence.
так как тебя зовут?
So, what's your name?
А, ну конечно.
Here it comes.
Имена, имена, имена.
Names, names, names.
Людям непременно надо вешать ярлыки на все подряд.
You people always need to put labels on everything.
Ну и как бы ты назвал такую лису, как я?
What name would you give to a fox like me?
Даже не знаю.
I don't know.
Но я читал про лису по имени Алиса.
But I've read about Alisa, the fox.
А что?
You know what?
Я не против.
I don't mind.
Пусть будет Алиса.
I'll be Alisa. I couldn't understand if she was joking or not. I turned around as if looking for an answer from the dark sky devoid of dawn. My silent questions were left unanswered. This is the school. Typical Russian school. The school's outline was already in our sight. A giant brick box stuck in the endless night. Lights in its windows did not bode well for me. Awarding trees were guarding the schoolyard. Screams, childish laughter, and someone's whistling tore up the silence. I went here with Mom when we just moved, and the place looks cozy at the time. Empty corridors that smelled like polish, puffy snow outside. The second time I came alone to get the books and just kept on imagining my peers rolling down the railings, grade schoolers running to the library, and teachers marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking in the entrance, in the track pants and wool caps perched in their foreheads. Yeah, we can see them smoking. Smoking kills, guys. Do not smoke. I stopped recently and I'm doing my best not to smoke again. So should you do. So you should do. You should do the same. I hope you understood. Their appearance destroyed. The last of hopes of cozy school. Their stingy eyes and teeth, yellow from nicotine. Their smirks. All of it had the same gloomy effect as the cloudy winter morning. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot about my companion.
После уроков жду тебя на заднем дворе,
I'll wait for you at the backyard after school,
возле повешенного.
near the hanged man. Hanged man?
Возле кого?
Near what? She just ignored my question.
Не опаздывай.
Don't be late. Hanged man. Hanged man. I hesitated. Blowing hot and cold again. Mom says that's when I would have trouble choosing between two options. Thinking about my mom helped me to
Я
reply.
после школы сразу домой.
I'm going straight home after school.
Эх, Антоша, Антоша, это я тебя так просто отпустила.
Well, Antosha, I'm going to let you off the hook.
Другие же незаметно подкрадутся со своими улыбочками и вцепятся. Клещами не оторвешь.
But the others will creep up to you with their smiles and sink their teeth into you. Won't be able to shake them off easily.
Попомни мои слова.
Remember my words. How did she manage to open her mouth if it's a mask? The fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this?
Антоха!
Someone running in the distance called out my name. I instinctively turned around. A huge snowball whizzed past my shoulder and hit the dog. Poor doggy. Never abuse the animals. Animals are the nicest creatures in the world, especially the dogs. They will give the life for you. It whimpered and ran towards the spring. The darkness diverted. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She dissolved into frosty air. Or was she hiding in my shadow? I glared. I swallowed the gum, unluckily. After taking a deep breath, I went towards the school, towards the cutlets window, towards the light raining down into the snow. The guy that hit the dog with the snowball is going to regret it. There was fresh-looking Volga parked nearby, with one of its front wheels perched up in the icy curb. Black like soot, as if it was straight out of the horror story Dad loved to tell me when we hid in the attic during the thunderstorm. I remember him always wearing a sad smile while mentioning the black car that was snatched children. He would say, "It looks like the funeral car on the inside, white curtains and all. And it has DSC in its license plate. Do you know what that means? Death to Soviet children. Funny, I was born in the USSR too." Nest. Whose nest is this, I wonder? I think Macbee? And it probably has all sorts of shiny things in it. Pieces of colors, glass, bottle caps, polished coins, old chill embraces. A tall man was standing near the gate, puffing out clouds of smoke into the wind. He didn't look like a teacher. Was he a PE guy, maybe? I carefully studied his face that looked like it was cut from a piece of granite, and his hair lip that was holding down a cigarette. He was playing around with car keys and staring back at us. The light from the cigarette was reflected in his eyes that were sitting deep in his eye sockets. I froze in place. The hulking man lazily tore off his eyes from us and walked towards the road. I think he just brought his son or daughter to school and was having a cigarette. And that's all, nothing special. Let's check out this group of teenagers. A buzzing crowd of upperclassmen with their winter hats tipped to the side. I'd better not draw their attention. Yes, Anton, you better do not draw their attention because I'm sure you don't know how to fight. I could hear muffled voices behind the door, or blinking lamps. Darkness crept along the windows, and it felt like the school was drifting in open space, like a lonely lost spaceship. Расписание уроков. That's a timetable. After going up to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Everyone was taking part in a lively discussion. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone was interested in, through the wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it, glued to the left of the notice board. The missing child, Vova, 10 years.
Видишь его?
Attention, child missing. Vova Matuhin, 10 years old. Vova Matuhin, 10 years old, grade 4B.
Говорила.
He left his home on January the 5th, around 4 p.m. and never returned. Was last seen at the bridge over the Smarodina River. He was wearing an orange coat with a hood and black wool cap, a scarf and mittens with green stripes. We need to check if the mitten that we found has green stripes on it. Might have had a plastic toy gun on him. Features 142 centimeters tall, skinny, brown hair and green eyes. Please call this number. Child missing. Vova Matuhin. That was his name. A 4th grader. We all read this already. Okay, let's go back. I skipped. On that grainy print, Vova looked dead, with a black mouth and dark, empty eye sockets. It could be that the darkness, dwelling deep in the forest, invaded his pores and mutilated his face. A plastic toy gun couldn't protect him from the whispering branches and the howling wind. Empty eyes and the lost voice pierced through my soul, as if pleading. Unable to meet his stare, I turned around and rushed to the window, took a seat in the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with the children, in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of school toilets, child voices were hammering and nursery rhythm.
Для медведя, для лисы, зайчик кушать принеси.
For the fox, for the bear, bunny tasty meals prepare. Doesn't make any sense in English. I turned my head towards them, trying to get a better look at their features. But when my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marched down the corridor, with her chin raised up high. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hooves. The girl was trailing her every step. These eyes are really familiar. Aren't they familiar to you guys? She was also looking pompous. Stopping along the way, and whispering some secrets in her friends' ears. She was probably a class rep, since she was carrying an attendance register book.
Екатерина, возьми, пожалуйста.
Ekaterina, take this, please. Teacher opened the classroom door, and the crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing. Out of all of them, a tall, red-haired fat boy caught my attention. His face was full of blisters. He looked like the inside of a pomegranate. A bad feeling risen up in the hair on the back of my head. I've seen this boy like him before. Unsatirized, cackling laughter. The girl who was a smaller copy of the teacher warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room through the clearing of the crowd. Some other guy stood in the way of the crowd, and the redhead immediately shoved him.
Упырыщ, мудила!
Move your legs, moron. The boys flew head first, failing his hands trying to keep his balance. The fatso burst out laughing, and a couple of kids joined his nasty cackling. Their laughter sounded like someone was sniping with a huge garden scissors. The class more sucked all of the kids in. The corridor stood empty. I wanted to grow roots and stay in the windowsill. Just a handful of lampposts outside were battling the darkness, writhing like fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Maybe I can still run away, go outside, dissolve in the dark. I imagine myself running through the snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I'm becoming lighter and lighter with every step. The ringer's trill blew that illusion away. I tore myself from the window with a great effort, then took a couple of deep breaths, trying to at least calm down my mad pulse, and entered the classroom. Classroom 204. I have too many questions after we met that fox. I think Ekaterina, the girl that we just met, she's the fox, because her eyes are exactly identical that we saw on the fox. I think that's all for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, put the likes on the video. If you want, and if you like my channel, subscribe, write the comments under the video. Maybe my English is very annoying, I know. I'm trying to improve, I'm trying my best. Sometimes it's very difficult for me to speak clearly and good English, but I'm trying. Thank you for support, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.